Okay, let's get into this. I got all your questions. I sorted through them. Let me start off by saying this. I never had an NDA. I was not fired from Ghost Adventures. I never did.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's turn on the juice. Get down there, boy, and see what shakes loose. Hey everybody, it's the Shape, back to another video. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the community like I always do before we dive into this juicy one here. You know, if you haven't joined Debunkers Anonymous, what are you doing? You can go there and talk to Bunker 24/7, 7 days a week, day or night, and it's a fun group to be in. So Debunkers Anonymous on Facebook, you can go check that out. We got over 1,000 members in that bad boy. But I saw a post in there the other day about a debunker leaving YouTube, and I don't know myself exactly why. I don't know if he got a lot of hate. I don't know what exactly happened. A lot of people say, well, he didn't mention you, Shape. He mentioned Mr. Gray and he mentioned Beardo. And at first I was like, who cares? But then, as I read it and looked at it, I kind of felt like it was somebody saying indirectly that I had something to do with it or something because he didn't mention your name, But then I got to thinking, well, that's dumb. I mean, you don't know what went on behind the scenes between me and Purple. His last controversy, if you want to call it a controversy, the Laney and Ben thing, I called the guy up, to check on him. I have no ill will toward anybody. But, I don't know. That drama stuff, I thought about it. The reason I shout out new debunkers to begin with is I know how hard it is to get a foothold on YouTube. I've been doing this stuff for 4 years. I don't know, you seem good to them, but I guess bad goes there as well. Because it makes people that don't like me, I guess you could say my enemies, they're not really enemies, makes them their enemies. You put yourself out in public, people are going to critique you. And rightfully so. They can not like you, they can talk about you just the same way as you do everybody else. But I wanted to address that. I hope all debunkers the best. The ones that ain't even popped up yet, hope you're the best. But I'm going to step back from that a while. I'm going to do my thing. Those of you who've been here a long time know we've been through a lot. Controversy, problems, drama, beef, whatever you want to call it. You guys that have been here a long time know exactly what that is. It ain't been a straight road. It's been a crooked, rough road. But we're still here. No, there's no quitting in this old boy. Ever. Anyway, I wanted to address that. I almost forgot what we're... Ghost Adventures. Let's get into the video. Now, those of you who don't know who Ghost Adventures are, they're the guys that in the mid-2000s they come out with that. Well, it's a pretty popular show that's had a ton of seasons and spin-offs. And I was a fan back in the mid-2000s. I was a fan of them. Zak Bagans, Nick Groff, and Aaron Goodwin. And the reason I bring that up is because they're coming out with this, Nick Groff come out with allegations, let's just say, of Zak being a bully, Zak doing this and doing that. And I wanted to look at it and see what he had to say. Now keep in mind, I'm not on anybody's side here. I think in due time it will all come out. The truth will come out, hopefully. But let's take a look at it.
Okay, let's get into this. I got all your questions. I sorted through them. Let me start off by saying this. I never had an NDA. I was not fired from Ghost Adventures. I never did, quote, a bad thing.
There will most definitely be a secret word in this video somewhere. Whether I say it or you see it, it'll be there somewhere. Now, the reason, I'd watched this and initially I wasn't going to make a video on it. because we don't have all sides to this. We have Nick's, but we don't have Zak's. We have some other dude, I can't remember his name, it's probably in this clip somewhere. But right now it's just speculation. Yet a lot of people are taking his word for truth, when oftentimes the truth between the two individuals, more often than not, is somewhere in the middle. That being said, I did catch a couple of inconsistencies to what Nick said, and I'll address them in due time. Oh yeah, that being said, that's an in-joke. You just...
I was misled with the ongoing of Paranormal Lockdown. I kept my head up for 9 years. I pushed forward. I kept trying to move on, creating new hit shows. But the previous hosts that I used to work with keep trying to stop my career.
And see, like stuff like that. I pressed on for 10 years and blah, 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 blah. We don't know that any of your shows were hit shows. I mean, you said they are, but what, my thing is, if you have a hit show, I don't see a network removing you because this guy over here don't like you. Now I could say, well, he's bigger than you. He brings more ratings, whatever. But right now, this just sounds like a blame game. All this guy's dragging me down. I'm trying to create these new shows and I've seen Paranormal Lockdown. And did Ghost Adventures not have a segment in it where it was a paranormal lockdown? I mean, think about that. You took a segment out of a show and made a whole show out of it. That's kind of... You're riding the line there, pal. Because every show he's done looks almost identical to Ghost Adventures format in a lot of ways. Just saying.
So this is my story. This is from my perspective.
Now the only reason I want to show that little clip, this is my story from my perspective, is because right now that's all that is a story from his point of view. Doesn't make it true. At least not yet.
Okay, Rachel asked, this may be controversial, I know, but what was it like working on the GA team after the documentary and Fame hit? Just wondering if rumors are true about you-know-whose ego from experience. I questioned him once about how he treats his team and was blocked instantly.
Oh, and another thing I caught in this clip. Now, it's not very big. The lady that's reading the comments, I guess it's Nick's girlfriend, or I don't know, his secretary, or whoever, a friend. When she's reading a comment that's positive, she reads it. But watch what happens when a negative comment comes along and she reads it. But let's just let her read this comment and then we'll see Nick's reaction. But I'll show you what I mean.
In my opinion, this rumor is true. I witnessed it firsthand and I saw him treat people just as poorly. This host was terrible to work with. It was an extremely hostile environment.
Maybe it was a hostile environment that Nick had to work. I don't know. But I do know this. When I went back and I watched some of the old shows, the first few seasons, and you have Zach, you have Nick, and you have Aaron. To me, and you guys comment below what your thoughts are, but to me it seemed like that Aaron got a lot of the hostile behavior put toward him from Zach and Nick. Now, oddly enough, Nick left, so I don't know what happened behind the scenes. But you can watch and see these guys like, hey, I don't know, they're just something about Nick and Zach together, and they kind of made Aaron the third wheel or something. You can go back. Matter of fact, I'll do a few videos on Ghost Adventure episodes. They'll be copyright claimed, but I'll do it anyway. But I'll show you a bunch of times that they treated this guy, Aaron, like a third wheel.
All right, this is from Glenda from Texas. Aaron has already explained why you were fired. You went behind Zak's back, started a new show without discussing anything with him. Trying to destroy him at this late date will do you no good.
Now, when she read this comment, it can be construed as a negative comment, but that Lady Glenda has a right to put her thoughts down too, and she makes good points just as much as the lady or whoever before her that, asked a question or made a statement. Yet watch what she does to this particular comment because it was negative.
Except she spelled no wrong.
No, she didn't spell no wrong. She used the wrong no for that particular part of the paragraph, but she didn't spell no wrong. But why would you point out her misspelling? What does that have to do with what she said? It's almost as if it's a negative comment and you want her to, oh, look at this lady. She can't even spell. Oh, then he goes here. You may rely on it.
I did not get fired. That is false. I did not go behind anyone's back.
Here's Nick telling a fib because he says, oh, that's untrue. I didn't go behind Zak's back. No. I had the right to, produce other shows just like Zak is doing, But that right there tells you went behind his back to make a show. Another show. Not saying you didn't have the right to do it or you didn't have permission to do it from whoever your boss, your upper boss is. But you still went behind his back, though. You had to do the show. Another show.
My contract allowed me to produce other shows, just like the other host who I was working with, who produced several other shows. This is simply jealousy.
And Nick could be right. Like I said, I don't know. But Zak may be the jealous type, folks. But this is just my opinion. This is not fact. It's speculation, much like what Nick's doing. I think more people know who Zak Bagans is, though, than Nick. So I would stretch it as far as to say Zak would bring in more ratings than Nick. Zak's always been a bigger personality, just more everything than Nick. When I watched the shows back when they were first coming out, Zak stood out to me. I didn't go, gee, this Nick guy's, I just wasn't the way it was.
There were multiple questions regarding whether or not you believe that you have been limited or blocked from appearing on Travel Channel.
In my opinion, I do believe I was blocked from the network and continuing my shows, specifically because of one host who I used to work with. And the reason I know this is because several executives I spoke to at the network said, I can't come to that network as long as he's there. And also, years later, speaking to Dakota, who finally spoke out about it and confirmed it for me, that yes, when he was filming with this one host at a location, this host came into the room bragging, laughing, saying, ha ha ha, Nick's never going to work in America again because I gave the network an ultimatum to choose him or me.
Dakota, that's the other guy, click, that I was trying to think of. But we still don't know that that's true. Dakota said that Zak walked in on, the Ghost Adventure set like, oh, he'll never work in this town again, but we don't know that. That's just Dakota saying that's what he said. You see what I'm saying here? Does he have that on camera? No?
So now, having that confirmation, this is the reason I'm speaking out today about it, because finally someone has the guts to talk about it publicly.
See, Nick, there lies the problem. You said this guy had the guts to, make it all out public, blah, 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 blah. Why didn't you? Why didn't you man to man? You see what I'm saying here? Man to man. This day and age, it's all about getting in front of a camera, talking whatever. There's no more face to face. Those days are long gone.
There's a ton of questions wanting to know exactly why you left Ghost Adventures.
In my opinion, based on what I was told, a certain individual that I worked with called up the network and said he would not show up at the next location if I showed up. I was dragged along for 2 months and I kept being told, we don't need you at this next location.
See that smudge? You know what that means?
Then another week would go by. We don't need you at that location. Got to the point where I was dragged along for so long that my lawyer finally stepped in. He gave me a choice. I could either move on and make something better, create something new, or just be a sitting duck and just wait. So I chose to move on and create Paranormal Lockdown.
I've watched Paranormal Lockdown. It's like, and this is, keep in mind, this is just my opinion, but it's like a Walmart version of Ghost Adventures. That's what it is. And like I said, I'm not siding with Zak on this. I'm just telling you, oddly enough, every single show Nick has done, like I said, in a later episode, I'll prove it. Same format.
Okay, so this brings me to a bunch of other questions that have to do with Paranormal Lockdown. People want to know what happened to Paranormal Lockdown.
Lockdown became one of the highest rated shows for the network at the time, and yes, it is true that a merger was occurring, and we were kind of on hiatus, still filming, but then I was told by the network executives that we would continue Paranormal Lockdown into 20 episodes and keep going after it, but then suddenly, radio silence. We had to get on the phone, talk to the network, and try to figure out what is going on, because this is what I was being promised. And this brings me back around to what Dakota witnessed about a certain individual, a host who walked into the room bragging and talking about how he stopped Paranormal Lockdown. I believe I know what happened to my show, Paranormal Lockdown, but what do you guys think?
See, Nick, you keep talking about these ratings, how they were very high ratings. Your new show had these magnificent ratings. Why don't you show receipts to show that it had these high ratings that you speak of? That's the one thing you're short on everything you say is receipts. If I was a executive at one of these places, on program and paranormal whatevers, and you had high ratings, I don't care what Zach says. I'm going to be like, okay, this dude's got high ratings. We're making this show because we're making money.
Zach says, anyone out there who gets fired from a job for doing bad things can't use said job as a resume of achievements, total deception. He goes on to say, please for one time in your life do something 100% original, and then continues to say, disgusted to see someone using our show name, Ghost Adventures, to keep promoting shows and himself that we want absolutely nothing to do with.
And I do agree with Zach on his first part there. He said, basically your stuff is unoriginal. I agree with Zach on that because, like I said, it's watered down Ghost Adventures. To me, that's what it is. But I disagree with the part where he's saying you can't use Ghost Adventures as like, hey, I worked on that as a reference. Because you have just as much right to do that, just like Aaron should have just as much right to do that as well. I don't agree with Zach on that one.
Here's proof that he's putting out statements about me, talking about how I did, quote, bad things. Multiple people in the industry reached out to me and stated Zach called them and told them not to work with me.
Multiple people in the industry reached out to you. Got any receipts? No, not none, not one? No? Okay. Just checking. Oh, I bet that they wanted to keep their name anonymous. Because lawsuits and such.
And as far as him going on and saying, I use Ghost Adventures for my resume, yes, it is part of my resume. I helped create the title Ghost Adventures. I edited it. I was a co-creator. I was in it for 10 seasons. I have every right to use Ghost Adventures on my resume.
Asked, are you way happier now getting to investigate your way and have full control of what you're producing?
As you're seeing now, people in the industry are talking how difficult it is to move away from a network that's fully producing their project. I took matters into my own hands, gained full control over my project, Deathwalker, so this would not happen again. To answer your question, I'm way happier now. I have full control of my projects. I'm away from toxic people. There's no restraints. And I'm able to pursue my passion of real paranormal investigations with credible evidence.
I gotta disagree there too, Nick. I've seen Ghost Adventures. They stage, their videos as well. Your new stuff, I've seen quite a few questionable things. This is before the shape come into play. But you know what? I'll watch a few of your videos just for you.
What about the allegations in the media regarding you cheating?
These allegations are completely false. I have never cheated. I have never had an affair. In my opinion, these rumors and allegations were put out into the media purposely by a very hateful and jealous woman.
I have nothing to add there. I mean, obviously, Nick, it's never you. It's everybody else. Just a hateful, jealous woman. Zach, blah, blah, blah. He's jealous of your success. Okay. Show a few receipts next time. All good. All good. Now, I also heard, I don't know how true it is or not, but Destination Fear was canceled. And I heard it was because of Zak Bagans. And I think it's the right ones, I seen them upload a video saying they were canceled. So let's take a look and see what happened, being as we're already on this subject anyway. The secret word, ladies and gentlemen, is free. F-R-E-E, free.
Well, you guys, after 4 seasons of amazing times, amazing memories, the TV show Destination Fear has been canceled.
There is no more show.
It's the end of the road for Destination Fear. The hard part about this type of job is that you are never promised tomorrow, and you're not just doing that hard work for yourself. It just turns into something so much bigger than a TV show.
Now, I do hate seeing these guys get canceled, and I'll go ahead and tell you now, they never said anything about it being Zak Bagans or anything. I don't know why they got canceled. I'm sure they'll say their ratings were high, and it was just some yellow tape throughout the people above the show or executive producers, whatever. But I hope these guys the best. Maybe they can do YouTube.
We're not done yet. We've got more gas in our tank.
Welcome to the next phase of Fear, a whole new project.
That is the spirit. That's what I like to see. I love it when people get motivated like that. You know, hey, we got canceled off this TV show. We'll do our own show. I love it.
We are making it our mission to create an all-new but very familiar show.
Down to the production side. We purchased all of the equipment used to create this show.
The lights, the cameras.
We currently own all of that.
Now that's what I like to see. They got all the equipment they need. All they gotta do is just start recording. You go. You do your thing.
We have all of the equipment, all of the skills needed to take what you've seen on TV and bring it to YouTube.
We are coming to YouTube.
So yes, the TV series may have ended, but our next destination is here. Project Fear.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the chills. I'm getting the chills. I feel motivated about this. God. Love it when just somebody puts, the effort into that stuff. Love it when they do that. They're like, well, you know what? We'll make this successful. We'll make it ourselves. We don't need no help.
So for this Kickstarter, our goal is to raise $65,000.
And you lost me. All we need, we got the equipment and everything, guys. All we need is $65,000. 65 grand. That's all we need. We want you to give it to us, right? Because, hey, we're making content for you. We haven't put a day of work in on YouTube, to establish ourselves or anything. No. Just give us money.
With that money, we will be giving you 2 brand new haunted road trips.
Yep. See, undoubtedly people will probably get mad in the comment section, but I cannot stand these type of people. All right. 2 locations, 65 grand, and we're going to give you 2 locations. Think about that. That's, $32,500 per location. God bless you, You're going to go to 2 locations. All we got to do is get you up to $65,000. Wow. It's that easy. You know what? Hey, whoever likes it, hey, go donate, do your thing. To me, that you guys know how I feel about that garbage. Can't stand it. But hey, welcome to YouTube. I hope I don't see you soon. That being said, guys, I've got really good videos coming up, really good debunks. I really wanted to address this because it's a big part of our community. I mean, all the new ghost hunters of the modern era, I would say a lot of them owe it to Ghost Adventures and Taps, which is my personal favorite. Taps, the original Ghost Hunters, not Ghost Hunter International. I'm talking about the original Taps. That was my personal favorite. yeah, they stage, but I still like them. And my favorite, by the way, is neither Zach or Nick. I like Aaron the best. I just do. But yeah, I just want to point out a few things. I think it's definitely worth addressing because it, what'd I say? I think I might have had an aneurysm just then. That being said, guys, comment below what you think. I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on this ongoing thing, and hopefully Zach will spit his side of it out. Hopefully we'll get some answers, right? But all jokes aside, I want to take this time to tell you guys how much I appreciate all you've done. We're in the top 95% on YouTube. Now, there are probably a few of you going, you ain't even at 20,000 subs, pal. You ain't in that top 95 of nothing. No, it's the size of the channel. They go off watch time. They go off likes to dislikes. They go off engagement, everything. I got an email, and I'll show the email right here. And that's all you guys. I showed it in Debunkers Anonymous as well. It's amazing. That's all you. You guys are the shape. I appreciate you guys. I love you. And I'll see you soon. Y'all come back now, you hear? Peace.